Hello, my friends. This is a test again. And now I'm down to 26 frames per second. And things are getting choppier and choppier as we speak. And if I can only keep up a constant clip of moving and noise and talking, then maybe I can tell how much of this is going to be jumpy and how much of it isn't. That's terrible. Hello everybody, I'm TychoCelchuuu and welcome to a Company of Heroes 2 shoutcast. We have two excellent players today and my game is running like shit, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but we have Sepha versus Siberian. Sepha as the Germans, Siberian as the Soviets, and I think if people were ranking the top Company Heroes 2 players, which we can't have done for us because there's no ladder, if people were ranking them, I think these two would probably be in the top 10. Maybe in the top 15, probably in the top 10. These two are just stupendous. This is an auto match game they played. Right now we have the World Championship tournaments going on, so hopefully I'll bring you some shoutcasts from that soon. But this is just an auto match they played earlier in the morning before the tournament started. And if you want to watch some tournament shoutcasts, I'm sure the Frontline Network will have stuff up pretty soon, so go check out their YouTube channel. Sepha opening up with a machine gun first, so that's an interesting choice. The risk with going with a machine gun first is that you worry about spending too much time useless, right? Because your machine gun actually can cap, so it's nowhere near as useless as you might end up being in the original Company Heroes. But even if you do use it capping, if you get into a fight and your machine gun gets pushed off or even just damaged a little bit, then you're in big trouble, right? Because you're not going to be able to run it around the map capping stuff like you can with normal infantry. So what you need to do with your early machine gun, no matter how early you get it out, whether it's the first thing you build or later on, is you want to push your opponent off a point. And as Soviets, you always want to be thinking about where is the Oster going to send their first machine gun? Where am I going to potentially be pushed off? And then when you know where they're sending it, you want to try and flank them and push them off and get them away from you, or at least not get suppressed. Because once you're suppressed this early in the game, it's unlikely you'll be able to get a flank up because you're probably spread out capping stuff. So when you're suppressed, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have to retreat, and that's going to lose you a lot of time in terms of capping. So Siberian trying to catch Sepha by capturing this watchtower gives him a lot of line of sight around this area, so probably expecting the machine gun to go into the center. I'm not so sure about that. So I was watching Siberian, I watched the first 2 minutes of this replay. He was talking over it on his live stream, and he was like, oh, I never really expected Sepha's machine gun to go up here, which is actually where it's at right now, because not a lot of players do that. I think we're probably going to see that being more common as time goes on, because there's nothing in the middle, right? So this is apparently deep snow that your units will avoid if they, like, generally. So what Siberian was trying to do is run up to this machine gun and hit it before it sets up. But Sepha caught him because his units took the long way around. So beware of the pathfinding. Apparently you can run over this stuff, this little ridge right here, but your units won't do it by default. They're going to take the long way around. So that's really weird. Micro your units when you want to try and get them up through this, like sort of click on them and then hold down shift and give them hotkeys like this all the way through, or waypoints like that all the way through. And in any case, Sepha pushes off Siberian's first conscript squad handily, and so now Sepha's in a commanding, well, not a commanding lead, but he's got the lead now, because this is going to have to run all, whoop, that's not them. It's going to have to run all the way back to base, and now Siberian's going to have trouble with map control. Second fight going on here, Siberian moving in. He wants to take control of the south if he can, because it looks like the north is going to fall to Sepha, so he runs in, force these pioneers off. Again, in the live stream, Siberian said he doesn't like doing this anymore because the pioneers get some good damage in on the conscripts. I think that kind of depends largely on luck, but I don't know. You do have to worry about these automatic weapons. It's always going to be better to fight pioneers from farther away, no matter who you have. So with his conscripts, he could have maybe tried to go around like this. Now he's fighting these grenadiers, hoping he'll get some good hits in before this thing comes in. He wants to keep the squad in the fight for as long as possible, because if he can force, or if he can keep this around without retreating, that'll be amazing, because they'll be able to cap stuff down here. And even if he can't, he knows Sepha's going to focus fire this squad, right, to push it off, because he has to. He can't just ignore this squad. That would be even worse. So Sepha's going to have to focus fire this, and then it gets down pretty low, so then it retreats. And this means he'll be able to handily win this fight. Sepha trying to soft retreat, but that's not going to happen at all. He can't fire behind him. So he's just biding time until his MG sets up, and here we go. MG set up. MG firing. It's hard to tell, but trust me. And now Siberian's suppressed and things are looking bad. He's trying to crawl away, right? And if he can crawl away, it looks like he's at the edge of this MG, but Sepha's smart. He repositions slightly, sets up again, and not even going to fire rifle grenade, trying to buy Sepha time. If he can get some good damage in on these people, it's going to be harder for them to keep playing cat and mouse. But again, Siberian, great micro here, great micro from Seph. He's not being very aggressive with his machine gun. You see he's very risk averse. He doesn't want to lose this fight. He just knows, look, I want to push Siberian off eventually, and the most important thing is to get this conscript squad out of here, so I'm not going to waste my machine gun and potentially get it pushed off. Again, great usage by Seph of the machine gun. Siberian Ura's try and get out of the arc of fire. First burst kills the guy, and that's unfortunate. And now he's going to have to retreat right through the fire. So he almost got a flank off with that, but not quite. Nice fight done here. So Ura's a very important tool as the Soviets, especially in the early game before you have... Oh no, my computer's all laggy. Before you have Molotovs and hit the dirt, because that's going to be your #1 anti-machine gun counter. Against bad players, you'll often catch a machine gun as it's setting up, or even before it's set up, and then you can just sort of straight run past it, right? Siberian, I don't know what he's doing here, trying to... I guess he's busy microing elsewhere, right? Siberian's probably got his mind focused on this clown car, because it's very hard to keep these alive against a good player who's going to Faust them unless you're being self-conscious. So Siberian probably using a lot of APM on this thing, and it's working out, right? He forced off this machine gun, but he pays for it by having to retreat these conscripts down in the south. Meanwhile, he'll chase this back, and if he can get a squad kill on that machine gun, that'd be good. But in the beginning of the game, when you want to be forcing off these machine guns and you don't have hit the dirt or Molotovs, against bad players, often you'll catch them while they're setting up or before they set up, and you can just run straight at them, right? Oh man, my computer's being all... Oh, it's an armored car. You can just run straight at them before they get set up, and oh, decruise the machine gun. That's nice. That's gonna cost Sepha some stuff to recruit, especially with these 3-man squads the Germans have. He'll have to retreat back after that. And here's the upgun, so his clown car is dead, dead, dead. Not super worth it. He did take out the machine gun, so that's good, but he's gonna... And he bought a bit of map control, so he's able to cap his fuel back is the big thing. But certainly not an unequivocal win. Notice how he's keeping his engineers in this fight for quite a while. He knows that this thing is going to do jack shit against him, so he's just trying to get these flames in on the Pyos so they can't recruit this machine gun. The longer he keeps Sepha off this machine gun... Oh man! He takes it. He takes the machine gun, and if he gets out with this, he's not gonna, but he's not even... He's a little slow on the retreat, I guess. He might actually have hit the retreat, but the machine gun's doing the stupid thing, like right after you recruit it, it refuses to accept orders for a while. So almost got that. That would have been crazy, but that's not happening. So Ura is a really good ability because especially in the beginning, because when you catch an opponent setting up with their machine gun, what you do is just run straight at them, and the goal is to get behind the machine gun, or at least to the sides. But against good players, you're much less likely to catch them setting up, right? Because they're going to be set up before you show up, so their machine gun's going to be ready for you. But with Ura, the magical fuck you ability, you just turn it on, and that gives your conscripts the ability to sprint, and often that'll be the difference between getting out of the arc of fire of the machine gun and not getting out of the arc of fire. And especially with the new true sight system, where you can sneak up quite close to things before they even know they're there. Nice kill on that with AT grenades. When you can use like a building or something to not just flank a machine gun, but to flank a machine gun unseen by your opponents so they don't have time to set up and reposition. Between coming out from behind a building or behind a copse of trees with true sight, and then being able to Ura for the last burst of speed you need, flanking machine guns has never been easier in Company Heroes for the Russians. So Ura is great, and then eventually you can combine that with Molotov cocktails or hit the dirt, because hit the dirt will make you immune to suppression, and then you can still throw Molotov cocktails from that. So that's how you end up dealing with enemy machine guns, if you're curious about that. But it's all about predicting where they're going to go. Unit snipe. So we do have a sniper out by Siberian here. Not going to be able to clown car it up, and it's going to be touch and go, right? Because once Sepha sees that sniper, he's probably going to want to move in with his half track. It's very vulnerable to AT grenades, and boom, we see an AT grenade going in. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but and Siberian doing a smart thing, Uraing away. While his Ura was still up, Uraing away from this thing. We have an MG suffering from cold, and Sepha's just like, I'm retreating it. I don't want it picked off by the sniper between the freezing to death and the sniper. So good job soft retreating these conscripts away while the last bit of Ura was going to get them into the sight of the sniper, and then the sniper is going to be able to pick off these grenadiers. Nice. Map back and forth. So here's an interesting thing. Sepha captured this vehicle repair facility, and Siberian has yet to recap it back. And this is something you see noobs doing. This is something you don't see noobs doing. When you watch people who aren't as good at the game play, what you'll often see them doing is wasting time capturing these repair facilities, or these well, the watchtower is useful, but the repair facility. So Sepha just grabbed it, right, because he was around here, so he had time to cap it. But in terms of Siberian capping back the map, you can basically just ignore these until you need them, right? You don't need to just capture everything just because it's capturable. And so, especially in the early game when capping time is valuable, don't grab these vehicle repair stations for nothing. Sepha probably grabbed them because he didn't want his opponent's clown car healing up at them. But now that Siberian doesn't have a clown car, you see he's not wasting any time at all trying to recapture those things. He's got a unit up here that could easily have been capturing that thing, but they're not. So nice use of these Panzer Grenadiers moving in real close to these snipers and pushing them off, and also forces the retreat on the conscript. Siberian correctly realizing he wouldn't be able to stick around. Second sniper by Siberian. Siberian loves his snipers. He's a big fan of the snipers, and it's all about using them in tandem with the conscripts, because most good German players definitely going to get a Flammenwerfer half-track, or at least a scout car, or maybe both. And what you're going to need to do is protect your snipers from those things. Even once the 20mm cannon's upgraded on the scout car and it becomes worthless against infantry, you still have to kind of worry about snipers around it, because a few lucky hits will start taking out your snipers. Although the two-man squad does give you a ton of leeway. But the half-tracks, you definitely have to worry about the snipers, because they have machine guns on the front and the back, or you upgrade them to Flammenwerfers, and those will just destroy snipers. So Siberian, it's all about using your conscript and your AT grenades to damage the engine on those things, and then use your snipers to dance around and do that. So really great back and forth we've got here. Good capping down here from Siberian with these engineers. Some cat and mouse with this machine gun from Sepha trying to set up and catch them, but we're in a blizzard, so he can't see jack shit, so it's going to be tough for him to see anything coming. Interesting fight here. You would think the LMGs would come out on top, especially because they're in yellow cover. There's a grenade going in, so that'll change the fight a bit. Where's the other guy in the squad? He's up there, so not even fighting, I think. That's the thing about Company Heroes too. Just because your units are in combat doesn't mean they're actually fighting. So if you have a 6-man squad, especially of like conscript or something, and they're like standing behind some sandbags or something and shooting at some squad, it might be that 2 of them are off like hiding behind a truck, and that actually puts them out of range. So this actually can influence fights. You have to pay attention to what your units are doing. Normally it's not a big deal, but sometimes the AI just does stupid stuff. And just pay attention, because Company of Heroes, everything, well, not everything, but what you see is usually what you get. It's like, this squad is not like an abstract representation of 6 men. It's actually 6 men. So if 3 of them are firing and 3 of them are like dancing around, it means that actually 3 of them are not doing anything. So that's not actually happening here. But so we have a nice sniper usage down here. He's moving them both, where are they? Moving them both around here, and so now this machine gun's down to 1. Does force off these combat engineers, but between the conscripts and the 2 snipers, this is just going to be really bad for Sepha down here. Maybe trying to get a grenade off. No, this is still on cooldown. He used that. So Sepha's just trying to keep these in play for as long as possible, but he has to be really careful. He knows these snipers are around. He needs to get behind the house. He is behind the house, so the snipers can't get him. Could actually hop in the house, because snipers are very bad against houses now. A nice grenade over the house. That's interesting. Doesn't do anything, though. These are very hit and miss. You may have noticed the grenades. So let's look at the teching for these players. Sepha has built every goddamn tier up to this one, the support armor core, and he's got Panzer IV coming out, not an Austrian. So that's an interesting choice right there. Meanwhile, Siberian has teched all the way up to tier 4, skipped tier 2 and tier 3, just 1 to 4 for him, and no tanks or anything out of it yet, but you see that fuel he's banking. He's going to have enough to get some pretty sweet stuff soon. So he's just needs to build a manpower. Boom! Nice bundle grenade goes off on these conscripts. Siberian was getting a little too early with the chasing. And so now we have a Flammenwerfer pushing off both these snipers. This could be really bad for Siberian if they got chased down and killed, but it looks like it's not quite fast enough. Oof! Catches one of them. Yeah! Whoa, and yeah, add insult to injury, fucking just like, look at that, Jesus. Oh man, oh, the humanity, ah! Oh, you had the worst day in the history of the world. And I swear to God, you screamed like a dude when you died, so I guess Relic didn't record dying screams for women. And so now we just have a lot of infantry for Siberian hanging around on the field, and still, oh, yes, we have a tank finally. Su-85 is being built, and none too soon. He has a Flammenwerfer in his base. This could get ugly. He sees the Panzer IV down here now, so he knows he needs his Su-85. He just needs this engine is damaged, so he just needs to survive until his tank comes out. It's almost here. It's a tank destroyer, not a tank. My apologies. Until his tank destroyer comes out, Sepha's not going to be able to do much damage to these base buildings. Base buildings seem more resilient than in the original Company Heroes. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but base vessels is slightly less common. Although I heard there's a strategy for the Soviets where you run in with demo charges and clown cars and just destroy everything, because demo charges are research from the bidding. Bad move here, Siberian moving these engineers up, getting them flamed, so that's unfortunate. These conscripts also slowing down the Su-85. Oh no, and they're getting roasted! Oh god! They're at such low health, you need to keep them away. Oh, by the way, his medics are dead. And that's a conscript. His medics are dead. We're gonna have to see if this spawns... Oh, he doesn't have medics. Did he ever have medics? I don't think so. I want to know what happens when you kill medics. Does it spawn them again? Or does it not spawn? Oh, they're just dead forever. I don't know. So that was interesting right there. Sepha tried to failed base rush with this thing. Maybe decided it was time to throw this away, but I don't know. He gambled it all, and he should have known Siberian had something coming out, because we hadn't seen any fuel spent from Siberian. Oh, look at what Siberian's using. It's a new doctrine. It's hit the dirt and PPSHs like normal. But you get conscript repair instead of the guard's rifle. You get rapid conscription, and so this, when you use it, it's 200 munitions, and while it's active for 30 seconds, I think for every 6 infantry units you lose, every 6 like dudes, you get a conscript squad. So that can be pretty good, I think. We'll have to see if Siberian pops it at any point in the game. Sort of a weird ability, but we'll have to see. Nice sniping in on these. And then finally you have the incendiary artillery barrage, probably familiar with that. And so this is one of the cool doctrines I guess you get from Collector's Edition or something. You can upgrade by unlock it or something, or pay $2.99 to relic, whatever. God. So we're gonna have to see what he does with his Su-85. Right now we have a game of cat and mouse. We have a Panzer IV on the field and Su-85 on the field. So both of these players know this game may end up being decided by what happens with these tanks. The Panzer IV briefly had a damaged engine from an AT grenade that I missed at some point, but it's repaired now. So now it's going to be head-to-head, mano-a-mano, duel to the death. Here we go. We're going to get a Faust in. No, we aren't. There's nice snipes coming in. Yeah, nice snipes coming in, and some hits in on the Panzer IV already. He has a Pak 40 ready, though, set up in ambush. Gets a good hit in on this thing. This thing is getting clobbered. This thing's getting clobbered. Everything's getting fucking killed. Lethality is very high, so both players back out. I think I mentioned in one of my earlier shoutcasts we should expect to see players being very cagey with their tanks in Company Heroes 2, and that's exactly what we see, especially because the choke pointy maps really encourage this sort of stuff. This sort of stuff. My voice is breaking down, but it's not even worth sort of flanking around on this frozen field, because one unlucky hit and your vehicle just sinks. Okay, like a rock. So it's you're just basing everything on luck basically when you flank on that thing, and also you're committing if you drive across, because then if you drive across again, that weakens the ice even more, and it's even more likely that a lucky shot will just blow a hole. So we have a counter sniper from Sepha. We're gonna have to see how much he does. The German counter sniper, understandably maligned by people. Here we go, artillery barrage coming out on the Pak 40 to keep it from being recruited. This will give Siberian the chance to use his tank destroyer to take off this Panzer IV, which is gonna have to retreat into the artillery fire, and this is just terrible for Sepha, because he's trying to... Ooh, he loses his tank, he loses his machine gun, loses his pioneers to recruit this thing, losing the thing that he recruited, and now this looks like it's probably going to be over for Sepha unless he can come back. Both of these snipers don't even worry about the counter snipe, they just retreat out of there. And Siberian is probably sitting pretty. They've got half and half map control, so it's not impossible for Sepha to come back. But Siberian's got 134 fuel in the bank. Sepha is sitting at 130. Oh, he just spent it all on a Panzer IV. So Sepha can come back, but things are looking pretty bad for him now. Loses a lot of resources right there. So in terms of counter sniping, it's not like the German... Boom. What's that? That's the light artillery barrage or something? Fragmentation. He dropped these are basically butterfly bombs. Sepha has a fragmentation bomb thing that he dropped at one point, I guess. Down on here. Can we select any of them? No, maybe they're all gone. I'm pretty sure that's frag. What else would have made those explosions? That he dropped a while ago, so those are cool. So the sniper thing is not quite as bad for the Germans as you might have expected. This guy's gonna get owned, though. Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of there. You fucked. So now it's over for Sepha, pretty much. Well, no, he can still come back with his Panzer IV. Look at this cutoff thing. This, like, sad little cutoff, trying to, like, do this whole wishbone thing, but, like, it's not working. Now it's working. Okay, there's this tiny, weird, square-shaped sector. The sectors are weird in this because they just rejiggered them, but, yeah, so it's not as bad for the German sniper as you might think, because they fire faster than the Soviet sniper. So the idea is you fire once, you kill a Soviet sniper, the spotter transitions into sniper mode, but before they can aim and fire, because they have to sort of start over again, having picked up the sniper rifle anew, before they can aim and fire, then the German sniper cloaks and then the goal is to get another shot on the Soviets. So it's not like two-man sniper squad is like LOL, you're never going to be able to counter-snipe me ever, but it's still very disadvantageous for the Germans, especially because the Soviets have six-man squads everywhere else too, so even your increased rate of fire maybe not going to help you against the Soviet infantry horde. So Sepha's last chance here is to make some sort of magic happen with this Panzer IV. Probably what I would do is mind control Siberian and get him to drive onto the ice and then sink him. That would probably do it. Also keep in mind this thing's at half health. He's finally repairing it with his conscripts, but conscript repair, well, I heard it was slow. This looks fast enough to me. Maybe they buffed it. So conscript repair, pretty sweet, because any good Soviet player worth their salt's probably spamming conscripts, so you'll always have something around to repair your Su-85, even leaving his combat engineers free to lay a mine. The newly buffed mines with their lower, that's not a mine, it's a demo charge? It's a demo charge. That's some balls. Look at Siberian laying down that, nope, and Sepha quits. So, yeah, Sepha lost that climactic fight here in the middle, and also Siberian just did a great job not getting destroyed by that Flammenwerfer. He kept his two snipers alive. Between the two snipers, 8 kills and 11 kills. Those really picked away at the Panzer Grenadiers that Sepha had, and destroyed his ability to come back into the game. So this climactic fight, which was pretty much just a choke point, clusterfuck nightmare, and good micro from both players, really clinched the game. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Two of the best players, like I said, in Company Heroes 2. Love this match, and thank you for posting the replay, because otherwise there's nothing for us to shoutcast. I will see you around. Goodbye.